The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on and he missed the complete that. He's crazy.
Side Freitas is on the grass on the infield before. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
The West Coast swing for the Premier Racing League continues tonight as the Patriot Fire Cup Series has hit the diamond in the desert, the Phoenix International Raceway. 3 different winners and 3 races. Can a 4th drop it like it's hot? It's the Snoop Dawgy Dawn 250 live on iRacing Live and the Global Sim Racing channel. The Estrella Mountains are in the background of this 1-mile oval just southwest of Phoenix, Arizona. And tonight it's round 4, the Premier Racing League Patriot Fire Cup Series. Good evening, I'm Chris Scala alongside Sean Ambrose. I'm Jed Yadmin. Well, he's in a special location tonight. See the background there? That's Rattlesnake Hill. He's up there in the production truck. He lost the bet last week. And also, with his Dougie Beard, he's working on the cameras. Now, Sean, this Phoenix International Raceway, my friend, this is a very unique track. 1 mile in length, multiple degrees of banking in multiple corners. There's a shortcut on the backstretch and not a single blade of grass anywhere in sight. Tell us about this racetrack.
Well, first of all, I want to talk a little bit about Rattlesnake Hill there. My favorite place to watch a race from. I've already been up there a couple of times this week, and I've just come down from the virtual truck up there just a little while ago for the last time this week. And this 1 mile speedway here in the desert, it is, boy, they reconfigured it in 2011. and it's quite a ride. Turn 1 and 2, about 10 to 11 degrees of banking. The same in the dog leg there. 3 and 4, about 8 to 9 degrees of banking. Now, there are 2 to 3 lines around here, Chris, and we get a little rubber in this track. This long race tonight, let's look for some racing up on the high side, some side-by-side cup action this evening. Let's take a ride around in the GSRC Chevrolet and give you a ride around this legendary track in the desert.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Global Sim Racing Channel. My name is Brian Yazik and I'll be taking you for a spin around Phoenix International Raceway. Phoenix is a fun little flat 1 mile oval. It takes a lot of skill and a lot of patience to navigate this track successfully. Going into turn 1 on your first lap, you're going to hit the brakes right about on that second cone mark. Try to find either the bottom or the middle right here. Get back into the gas, but not too quick, because if you get back up, they're going to plow up into the fence. Now with Phoenix, when they repaved the track, they left this dog leg all wide open. You're going to see guys all over that. Turn 3, once again, find it. You're waiting for the car to roll, and then you're going to roll back into the throttle like there's an egg underneath the gas pedal. Going to get back off the corner. If you do it too quick, you will get a little loose, just like I did right there. Once again, down into turn 1. Hit the brakes right about on that second cone from the wall. Find that yellow line, and here you can actually hook it and go straight through the open dog leg, but be careful because it's very slick down there. There's no banking to catch the car. Back into turn 3. You're looking to find the yellow line, get out of the gas, ease back into it, ease it, and then once you find the right mark, you swing it right out here to the fence, and you completed a lap around the Phoenix International Raceway. It's a driver favorite, fan favorite, and more importantly, it's going to be a great show for today. My name is Brian Yazik, and this was a lap around the Phoenix International Raceway.
And that's a lap around the Phoenix International Raceway. And actually, surprisingly there, we just watched the first 2 laps. I think Brian Yazic's ran tonight without wrecking. Every other lap he's ran tonight, he's been in the wall so much. That's how you do it right around the track. But, Sean, we'll get ready for 250 kilometers in this race. We're going by the old kilometer system, not miles tonight. So we're doing 156 laps, which if you've done NIS last night or earlier today for the fixed or open, which I believe is, let's see, today's Thursday, had been yesterday evening. And today, then you've already done this 156 lap. Halfway is going to be lap 78 in the race, and that's where we're going to give away the bonus points in the point standings. And speaking of those, we got a pretty interesting point battle going on.
We do. Things are definitely starting to heat up a little bit, heading into round 5 tonight. Scott Eckridge, your leader. Everybody else chasing him. Bob Bryant up there 19 points behind. Really close battle with Tommy Ryan there in third. Okay, 23 points behind Nick Cohan and Ricky Harden. Not too far from each other, but that's the battle. Harden, the battle between, let's say, about 8th and 4th place. Really heating up there. Drew Carroll, Brian Mellendorf, Rhett McBride, Tim Johnston, Josh Skrupa, all round out basically your top 10 there. But it is a tight battle there in the middle, Chris.
It is. Go ahead.
No, please, go right ahead.
No, I was just going to say it's a great battle. And the one thing we can't be confused by when it's all over with Sean is the different point system. It's not the same 43 points. So I know it used to be a point per position, but tonight with bonus points, Bob Bryant could jump Scott Eckridge. Tommy Ryan could get up there. Any of these guys could easily jump up in the point standings.
Yeah, and right now for a lot of the drivers that, quite frankly, that we're used to seeing up here that aren't yet 4 rounds into this season, need to start getting busy and start racking up either a win or a little bit of consistency over a couple, 2 or 3 races. Case in point, Brian Yazik, we're talking about. He needs to put together a string of some good runs here if he wants to get in this championship hunt. Let's look at the regular season standings right now. We just reviewed the spring sector standings, but here we go. Overall season standings right now. Find Scott Eckridge there at the top. A little bit further back, Bob Bryant there, 28 points behind. This is still really, really close battle, though, here in the middle. When you look back, Tommy Ryan, back through Nick Cohan, Brian Mellendorf, Rhett McBride, Drew Carroll, and Ricky Harden, they are really locked up there, and that can change from race to race. based on their consistency. And if one of them can get a win, it could really open things up. Tim Johnston and Jonathan Goodell are going to round things out there in the top 10. But Chris, with the bonus points that are being awarded, you do have a chance if you can string together, like I said, 2 or 3 of those good runs, you could really, really make some ground on the guys that are chasing you.
Oh, you sure can, and that's the great thing about this, because you got to remember, with these new rules, there's no more of the leading a lap bonus point. There's no more of the leading most laps bonus point. There's just simply whatever you can get at the halfway point, 10 down to 1, that's your bonus points that you're going to get. So it's an opportunity to get those 10 bonus points, and that can make or break your deal when it's all over. You could end up getting 10 bonus points, leading at the halfway point tonight, and then finishing 35th, but yet when it's over with, you still get points like you finished in the 25th or 24th position, and that could be big when it's all over with. Those 10 spots right there. So a very interesting point battle that we're going to watch throughout this regular season. Now, Sean, I want to bring this up. We've been to 3 totally different tracks. We started in Daytona. We went south to Homestead. Then we flew all the way out to California and went to Sonoma. Now we're out here in the desert in Phoenix. So we've gone from a 2.5 mile restrictor plate to a 1.5 mile multi-banked oval to a 2 mile road course. And now we're on this 1 mile flat track. That's the cool thing about the series, a different variety.
Yeah, you gotta, you know what, you gotta put your work in here. Okay, that means a lot of practice, a lot of seat time, because you're constantly adjusting how you drive. Okay, from week to week, they're not taking any time off here, so you got to find the time to put in a little bit of work. If you don't, then you're going to be behind. You're going to be behind from the time they drop the green flag, and you're going to fight. Well, you're going to fight a situation where you're trying to learn the track as you go through the race, and that's not the way to run here. Expect your front runners to be well prepared this evening, and to have that strategy card working for them. This race could turn into that. The races we've seen at Phoenix this week so far haven't been the best, but that's kind of the nature of this track. We'll see what we get this evening here out of this group, but I'm expecting quite a battle here with the front runners. I mean, the practice times are they're pretty tight.
It's definitely really tight here. You're looking at Scott Eckert right now being P1 by 9/1000ths of a second over Nick Cohan. Drew Carroll, Bob Bryant, once again, that rookie phenom, he's fast, and Tommy Ryan going to round out top 5 in practice, so they're going to get their 5 minutes of qualifying before we get the NP3 Designs Pull Award winner. Now, you mentioned the points, and you mentioned the guys looking to kickstart their season very much. You mentioned, of course, Brian Yazik being the one. The guy that I've had in mind here, now we showed the points. This is race number 5. Out of the drivers who have started 4 races, can you give me the name, Sean, of who would be last in points out of everybody who's made 4 starts? It's a pretty simple answer when you think about how he's ran.
You got me right now. I don't have that data in front of me. Krobach.
He has a grand total of 9 points right now and is in 41st in points after 4 races. You're talking about the same guy who's won multiple Premier Racing League races. Was in the chase. He's a very competitive guy for the Loud Pedal Motorsports South team here, or North, I should say. What does he have to do to get himself going? Because, I mean, one good night, he could easily jump into the top 35, but he's got a lot of work to do.
Well, he's another one of those drivers, much like Yazik, that has to string together a little bit of consistency here. Rip off 2 or 3 top 10 runs and really start to get into the hunt. Maybe, get some bonus points. Lead this race at the halfway point. There are multiple opportunities to do it now, Chris. It doesn't necessarily mean he has to get out there and win, but he's definitely got to play the game. He's got to play it well and get that car some consistent finishes here over the next several races.
When you've run a total of 218 laps so far on the season, that definitely shows your struggles, and that's what Krobach has done. Hopefully he'll get that back going. As qualifying has started right now, Gregory McDougall has got the pole with a 27.403 second lap. Good lap there by the 1 car. You see him pulling down off the track, but others still yet to go here. So they get 5 minutes to qualify before they have their little drivers meeting.
Yeah, and it's early days in qualifying right now. We got a lot of drivers that still hadn't even thought about getting out there on track yet. So playing the waiting game here, still just under 8 minutes to go in qualifying. So plenty of time here to make that magical run that puts you up on the pole. Seeing now Jeff Ward goes to the top of that provisional pole there, Chris. And the track conditions today, it's a little steamy. It's partly cloudy today, 81 degrees. It's 102 degrees on track. Not any humidity, but kind of a warm track.
Yeah, it's pretty slippery there. But there's not, you're in the desert, there's really not much humidity here. They don't know what that word means. But that dry heat, as they call it. But watching Tyler Dalton on the screen there, see what kind of lap he runs as Drew Carroll goes to P2. He'll jump Bob Bryan, who's P3, by one. Wow, the top three are separated by 2/1000ths of a second. Talking about being tight.
Mm-hmm.
Yazik P11, he ain't going to be happy with that. On some other cars here on the track, there's Scott Eckrich, the winner from last week, the point leader. Raise your hand if you had him winning at Sonoma for his first win of the season. You see that shortcut we were talking about, driving down there to the bottom. Don't know how much of an advantage you really get there. Depends on the run you get off, too.
It really does, Chris. And it's all about how you get off turn 2 as to whether or not that really will work for you.
Eckrich crosses the line. He won. Look at that. He was fastest in practice. Wow. Fastest in practice. Easy for me to say tonight, boys. But going to be fastest in qualifying now. 27.339. And just looking at the practice lap he ran, that's actually about 4/100ths faster.
And that was only, Chris, that was only one flying lap. He didn't even do a second lap.
Well, these tires here do wear pretty quickly, so I think the one lap is really all you're going to have. I mean, unless you mess up your first lap, that would be the only way that I think you would have to go to a second lap or something. And it looks like that is going to be your pole lap when it's all over. Scott Eckrich, the number 70 Loud Pedal Motorsports car, is going to be your NP3 Designs Pole Award winner. Congratulations to Scott as you take a ride on board with the 70 and the host Venom car for Loud Pedal Motorsports. Here's a lap. You see there, he comes off the corner, didn't even get up next to that wall and just drives it down into the apron. And that's not the smoothest transitions there. Goes down to turn 3, right down at yellow line. This is the corner, Sean, you mentioned the double file racing, where you're going to see people jump up to the high side, and I think you'll see some passing up there.
Yeah, and Eckrich, again, taking that ride around there and burning down what is a monster lap on the rest of the field. When I say that, everybody else really, really close. You said 2/1000ths of a second. Well, Eckrich went a little bit better than everybody else. Just, about 300ths of a second better than the rest of than Jeff Ward.
Yeah, he's definitely got a little bit of here. You said the 300s there. Jeff Ward and Drew Carroll's going to be third. You got Bob Bryant, Gregory McDougal with a very impressive run there, qualifying in the 5th position. Tommy Ryan, Dan Murray, Nick Cohan, Jonathan Goodell, and Tyler Dalton will be your top 10 once we get to your starting lineup here. And one guy we noticed who, I'm looking here, Michael Krobach, starting 11th, it looks like. He'll be right outside the top 10 there. So Krobach looking like he's going to get a good start, and hopefully he'll get a good bounce back here this evening when it's all over with. All right, Sean, well, we got about 4 minutes before we get this race started. And I figured since you've made this famous scene now happen, as you, if you're watching us tonight and you follow in the Premier Racing League Facebook page, you know that Sean has started this new segment where he does something from the woodshed. He basically goes Facebook Live from the woodshed. So I figured, why not tonight we introduce to you Sean's woodshed pick.
My woodshed pick. Well, I did say that I would consider this and I would think about it. And I don't know. I like the double nickel tonight. I like Brian Yazik tonight. I really do. I think he needs a race that's going to turn his season around. I think this could be it. Regardless of what we saw in practice, he knows how to drive this track. We also know he's fast. Okay, I think he's ready to turn things around. So look out for the number 55 HPP Simulations machine this evening. The blue oval there, the Michigan driver. I think Yazik's got a little something for everybody tonight.
Oh, he's put it out. His woodshed pick of the night, Brian Yazik, in the number 55. So there you go. That should be a pretty interesting pick when it's all over with us. We got about 50 seconds or so before we get to the national anthem. Sean, any thoughts? What are you excited about getting ready for tonight?
I feel like I just cursed Brian, and he's probably
it's not like he hasn't done that to anybody.
I honestly think we're gonna see a top groove come in here this evening. And that race through the dog leg is going to be exciting because the run down into turn 3 it gets really flat. It flattens out a lot right there. You're carrying a lot of speed into turn 3. You're going to see him mixing it up. You're going to see a lot of crossing over tonight. Guys fighting back for that position that they just lost coming through the dog leg. So a lot of action coming out of the dog leg into turn 3 tonight.
So at that point, we should take off and go get ready for the national anthem here at the track before we go greet. So let's go ahead and do that now. And back at the Phoenix International Raceway as we are getting ready for 156 laps around this jewel in the desert. That is the Phoenix International Raceway. As we take a look at your starting grid tonight, again, the NP3 Designs Pole Award winner Scott Eckridge going to start P1 alongside him. Going to be his teammate Jeff Ward.
Row 2 is going to be Drew Carroll and Bob Bryant.
Gregory McDougall, that Last Car Loaded Motorsports team, really good run for him, is going to start 5th alongside Tommy Ryan.
All right, row 4, we're going to be Dan Murray and Nick Cohan.
Dan Murray, Adam Littell's pick, apparently, tonight, according to a live video. Murray almost won this thing back in the fall. Jonathan Cadell going to start inside of row number 5 alongside Tyler Dalton.
All right, and then it's going to be Michael Krobach and Brian Yazik teamed up there in row 6.
Ricky Harden inside of row number 7. Outside there, R.J. Williams with a good run.
Row 8, Brian Mellendorf and Rick Thompson.
Paul Pepper, Sergeant Pepper, going to start there in the 17th position alongside Tim Johnston.
DJ Beverly going to start 19th tonight on the inside of row 10. Woodrow Mahon is going to start 20th.
Going to start in the 21st position. That would be Steve Ritter. Alongside him will be Reed Rundell.
Row 12, Justin Roden and Mark Allen.
Brett McBride there from Steel Horse Racing. Going to start inside row number 13 alongside Thomas George.
Okay, now these guys haven't taken times. At row 14, that's going to be James Grahula and Travis McQuiston.
Matt Murphy, he'll start inside there row 15 alongside Rich Jetty.
All right, and 31st going to be Adam Littell. 32nd going to go to Randy Yoakum.
And Calvin Filarski, he'll start inside row number 17 alongside Gerald Livingston.
All right, I'll take the last 3. That's going to be Norman Pelletier and John Wilco. And guess who's starting 37th? That's going to be Don Runkle, Snoop Dawgy Don.
So tonight we're going to find out who's got their mind on the money and their money under mine, or who's going to be waiting until the next episode and not win this race tonight. I've got plenty of more Snoop songs to go, trust me. Pace car about to roll off here, that Ford Mustang. And we'll get ready for 156 laps. And remember, this track, as you mentioned, reconfigured, repaved back in 2011. Remember, it used to be a big old grass infield with the little curve there on the inside. That was taken out. They put the the asphalt there on the inside, which has made a shortcut, which as of next season, I don't know when iRacing will update it, but when that happens, we'll have the front straightaway over off of turn 2 there. There'll be a pit wall there, so that shortcut's going to be pretty much gone. And the front stretch now will be the back stretch, which is going to be an interesting configuration to this track.
Always changing things up here. Lots of excitement here at this track, yeah.
Here we go. It's race number 5 already. It's like flown by. Race number 4, that is. Actually, if I learn how to count. The Premier Racing League Patriot Fire Cup Series. Eckrich is on it. We're green. Down into turn 1 again. Bank 10, 11 degrees. Multi-banking. You see Bob Bryant elevator move down to the bottom. He's going to look low on Jeff Ward. And look at him scatter.
Boy, they are scattering all over the place.
And it looks like a clean first lap, knock on wood so far. Everybody's there, and it will be Eckrich leading lap 1. Pick it up where he left off in Sonoma.
This race is already split into 2 groups. Got to go back to Matt Murphy in 25th place. Dropping back through the field. Got a battle going on there. The 42 under attack. Thomas George just got by. Here comes Mark Allen.
Yeah, the one thing that's always talked about in this racing, Sean, is do you want track position or do you want tires? Yeah, I think tonight track position is going to be pretty important, especially here early in this race. You're going to want to get the track position you can so you can set yourself up on tires, because this track is not easy to pass.
Real tense moment right there. The 29 of Paul Pepper getting by R.J. Williams. They were door to door. Paul bringing Rick Thompson and that American Pool Supply Ford along with him.
Yeah, they're a battle for the 14th position. And you see Pepper there, that 29. Paul in the Loud Pedal Motorsports North team. They got 2 separate teams, a North and a South. No word when they're going to have a Central team. I had to make that up.
They're working on it.
Yeah, right?
Applications are being accepted. That's what I heard.
Looking at P2 up here. Good fight. Down to the bottom comes Mr. Bryant. Underneath Drew Carroll. Carroll gets a good run there and able to hold the position. There's pros and cons to using that bottom line and going to that apron. You're right on board with Pepper, or on Bryant, I should say. When you come off a turn 2 and drop down, yes, it's a shortcut, but then you kind of kill your angle into the corner. So it's kind of a pro and con there. As you see, Bryant gets a run there on the bottom again, as we got a pass for 4th. Also, Jeff Ward holding off McDougal, I should say. But right in front of them, Bryant trying to get that run, not able to do so, and I think that's where that arrow comes into play here in this flat track racing, but Scott Eckrich has not gotten away either. Should mention, Sean, DJ Beverly did not take the green flag tonight, so only 36 cars in the end will start this race. Not sure what happened to Beverly, and Rich Jetty already got lapped down. Bryant to the bottom again.
Bob getting a really nice run there through the center of the turn.
Getting those runs, but not able to finish it off. Drew Carroll's doing a good job in that Ford. Looks like Drew's doing a good job.
I'm seeing a patient group of drivers right now here, Chris, that are look like they're ready to entrench themselves deep here and get ready for a nice long run. This thing is off to a tremendous start, and the field is spread out pretty much halfway around the track already.
Yeah, I should mention, by the way, if you are chatting with us tonight or would like to chat, you can actually do that by going to our YouTube page, which if you're watching us there, you can chat with us on iRacing Live. Also, if you're watching, we appreciate you joining us there. But somebody asked us about the temp. You see Sean mentioned in there 102 degrees tonight, track temp. Ambient, 81 degrees. So we're definitely got our... Drew Carroll loose on 2-4, I should say, and he saves it. Brian's going to go mine. He's going to lose all kind of momentum, but he was... first time tonight, somebody swatting flies.
Had his hands full there for sure. Got Carroll on screen there.
Woo!
Just, oh man. Code Brown.
Carroll's going to need 4 tires and a pair of under britches. Everybody pretty much single file. Let's look back here to the 9th position. Michael Krobach. We mentioned the guy that has to have a good run tonight. I mean, it would be kind of tough to say at race number 4 somebody's out of contention for a championship. But if there's anybody who can fight back into it, it's this HPP simulation Ford Fusion of Michael Krobach. Started in the 11th position up to 9th. Ricky Harden there behind him, Daytona 300 winner. Tyler Dalton there too. You got Brian Yazik. You see Ricky Harden kind of slide up the track, almost getting that wall, and it's going to allow Tyler to get a run here. Not enough room though. Right on board with Yazik.
Yeah, on board with Yazik here, looking up there at Tyler Dalton. I was going to mention about Paul Pepper. He's up right now. Pepper's up 3 spots, slowly marching his way up through the field. Him and Mellendorf. Right now, 2 drivers that are kind of moving up.
Yeah, this field is definitely a bunch of comers and goers, and we mentioned some of the comers. How about a goer? Let's go all the way back to 28th position. Dan Murray, who started 7th in this race, is in 28th. What happened to the 5? Is there something wrong with the car, or is Dan just kind of riding, or what? But how about somebody's falling back in the first 14 laps?
Yeah, Chris, I'll see if I can try and pick up what happened with Dan there.
But the 5 car, a little struggling there for a man who competed and almost won this race. Yeah, he's down on the apron here. Oh, we got trouble behind him. One car's gone around over in 3 and 4. It's a 27 of Justin Rodden. The WWE Network car has gone around. He's hit the ring pole or something as they went 3 wide. No wonder why he was down on that apron. One of those deals where 3 wide is just not wide enough. You get the 27 just comes down into the 42. I don't know if he just didn't realize he was 3 wide.
That'll probably be reviewed there. That was a little aggressive, well, you know what? It took him 16 laps to get to that first caution. Honestly, based on some of the races I've seen this week, Chris, that's not a bad start at all.
I did run the NIS race yesterday afternoon, the 5 o'clock Eastern time session, and we actually had 140 lap run after the first caution. So it is possible to do if we have the patience to run. As you see, everybody pretty much coming to pit road. 4 tires are going to be our best friend.
Yeah, you're gonna take 4 as many times as you can here tonight.
Very much the only cars staying out are the ones who are lap down, Jetty and Justin Rodden, who's got the damage on that 27. Tricky pit road here. You see right there on the screen the curve over in turn 1, so you got to be careful of that. But everybody in for 4 tires and fuel. Rodden going to take blame for the accident. You see Jeff Ward is having all kinds of issues getting onto pit road. And Eckrich easy.
Is away.
Yep, easily going to win this race off pit road. Bob Bryant going to be second. Drew Carroll. I think McDougal will come out 4th. Actually, Jonathan Cadell up 2 spots to 4th. Nice job by his crew there.
McDougal actually loses a spot there in the pit,
Yeah.
comes out 6th.
Look at Michael Krolbach gaining 4 spots on pit road. So great job by
Yep.
his pit crew there on the HPP simulation on number 7.
Yazik, checking in on him, Yazik actually loses 2 spots.
That's the ups and downs of having the pit crew, and sometimes they make mistakes, sometimes they have smooth stops, but
All right, now Jetty's coming in now.
now, did we have a
did
wave
not.
around? I believe we did.
Not seen anybody wave around yet, Chris.
Well, I'm saying lucky dog, though. I believe it would be Rich Jetty.
No, Jetty's still on the same lap.
Interesting. All right, never mind. I thought Jetty was a lap down, but okay. Gonna. As a matter of fact, I look and see that Rich Jetty was a lap down. So let's go ahead and say put him out. The Coastal Safety Auditors Lucky Dog Award. Here's Brutus. We put him out. Goes to Rich Jetty. Coastal Safety Auditors, your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services.
All right, well, the lights are off, and they are lining back up side by side, getting ready to do this thing as we travel through the dog leg here, Chris. Hats off to Rich Jetty, back in this race.
We'll go back racing here. Lap number 20. Remember, lap 78 tonight is the halfway point. Lap 78. You got to get to, in the top 10 will get bonus points, but it's Eckrich, Bob Bryan, Drew Carroll, Jonathan Cadell, Michael Krolbach, Gregory McDougal, Tommy Ryan, Nick Cohen, Ricky Harden, Brian Mellendorf. Your top 10 is a thumb through 3 and 4 here. Pace car going to hang a left, that Ford Mustang. Hangs a dead left. Eckrich going to be on the pedal. There he goes, and we're back to racing. Drew Carroll right there on his back bumper. Teammates there going to go 1, 2, and a 1. Here comes Krolbach on the inside of that 7.
You really would like to see it try and get back to that strategy they're working before, but a lot of side-by-side racing and checking up, going into the turns.
This is what makes Phoenix a very fun racetrack. McDougal almost getting that wall. They're 3 wide down to turn 1. Mellendorf, Cohan, Pepper. Somebody's got to figure. They're still 3 wide. They're still 3 wide.
Yeah, Yazik's getting a show.
Yazik's probably saying a prayer right now. Like, guys. As they say, cooler heads prevail.
Yeah, Yazik just behind that mess. Tyler Dalton now finds his way up there to Yazik, and also bringing along the 51 to RJ Williams. Williams looking to the inside, heading down into turn 1.
RJ looking good in that 51, trying to get the 13th position. And it looks like through the dog leg, he's going to get it.
He got a nice run on Dalton there and is able to pull off the pass, but Dalton's still fighting. And it looks like RJ with a connection problem.
He better get his tip cap
back.
on.
And he's back.
Rick Thompson there in the American Pool Supply car. Almost trying to drop that on Dalton. Dalton kind of chops his nose. Yeah, meanwhile, the RJ is blinking really bad.
Yeah, that's and for those that are watching for the first time this evening, that's just an interruption in the driver's connection, and if it gets too bad, he may just disappear altogether. But as a fellow driver, competitor around him, it's a really tough situation to drive around.
Yeah, because you never know when you might actually hit him accidentally or that kind of deal. Anything can happen. You could actually get wrecked by it, and you don't want that to happen. So it's just a tough situation, and most leagues will have you just either fall to the back or actually pull off the track and that kind of deal. You see Yazik making a pass around teammate Paul Pepper for the 12th position. He made that look pretty easy. I don't know if that was a teammate move or he said, hey, go ahead and go. But Yazik up to the 11th spot. Leaders all single file. Drew Carroll there in second. Bob Bryant, all these guys within about a second. Eckrich has not been able to get away.
Oh, we got a loose car. We got him wrecking through the dog leg.
Oh, the dog leg has bit somebody.
Yeah, it started Steve Ritter. Steve Ritter was losing it through the dog leg. The 93 gets into him. We've already got a replay here. Our director all over it there.
Oh, look what happened. Sean, you and I talked about this off the air. We talked about this right here. That yellow line. I ran the NIS races I mentioned last night. And one thing I learned really quickly, and you'll see it on the replay again, you want to either go below it or above that yellow line. You do not want to straddle it. If you straddle it, this is the result usually. You see Ritter, right, look, left sides. He's riding on board here with McQuiston. Oh boy, how do you like your steaks?
Yeah, McQuiston hits just T-bones him right there. No place to go. But yeah, we catch another angle of the replay here.
Yeah,
we're going back live now.
Yeah, if we can get the 16 there on, if we can get on, well, we got pit stops here first. See if we can get the 16 on board, and I'll show you what exactly we're talking about here. But the leaders are on pit road.
Yeah, and I really think we're going to see this every caution flag, Chris.
Nick Cohan staying out in the 21. Let the strategies begin. See if we have any two tires here. I can see that right now. Everybody 4 tires and fuel. Look like Paul Pepper maybe on 2.
Ooh. Look who got out first. Paul Pepper.
Yeah, Pepper I think took 2 tires.
He did. He absolutely did.
Namja, were we able to get the replay here? Yeah, we're going to get the replay. Yeah, let's just get the 16 here because I'll explain what I was seeing basically here. Is the one thing we were talking about, Sean, off the air was how you can go down below it, no problem. Above that yellow line, no problem. But the yellow line itself, you're going to see where Steve makes this mistake. He's going to come right here off of 2. He's going to go, but look, he's going to straddle that yellow line and bye. I saw that a lot in the NIS race, and I warned those for those running it in the future. Don't get that yellow line.
That transition is very, very tough on these cars, and we saw it right there. And the end result obviously not very good. It could very well end the race.
You gotta
Still in the pit.
You got to watch that first step. It's a doozy. So Justin Rodden, by the way, let's put him out. The country coastal safety auditors. Lucky Dog Award goes to Justin Rodden, your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services. Justin Rodden, the WWE Network car there, the Ford Fusion, going to get the Lucky Dog, and he'll be back on the lead lap. And looks like his guy's damage mostly fixed. Oh, never mind. The rear end looks. I said mostly fixed. So here's what we got. Now, Nick Cohan has stayed out on no tires. You got Paul Pepper on 2, and then the rest of these guys are on 4.
Well, I was going to make the quick comment. Sometimes on a track like Phoenix, a little bit of damage on the car may not be bad. It may help you out a little bit. You may get a little better turning out of the car if the damage is in the right place.
And then we're on a little aerodynamic help when there's damage. We're just wrapping up the second caution, and Nick Cohan going to be the first leader, not named Scott Eckrich tonight. Cohan on, looks like 10 lap older tires than Paul Pepper. Cohan pitted back at lap 16 under the first caution, so let's see how these tires work. Can Cohan play the track position game? He seems to be very notorious at doing this. He won a lot of races last season with this kind of strategy. Pace car's off. Cohan is on it now. Green flag going to come back out. Eckrich gets caught sleeping.
Nice jump for Nick Cohan.
Pepper not able to get to the bottom, and Eckrich is going to get that run off of 2. You're going to see the 4 tires go to work. Bryant going to go by. Here comes Drew Carroll. Now, I will say this isn't a bad time to go 2 tires because you can see how this is going to work. You get a good 10, 15 lap run and gain some positions out of it, then it worked for you. Meanwhile, Eckrich already on the back bumper of Cohan. Eckrich going for the lead. Bryant going to follow him. And just like that, 2 laps later, the 70 back to the front.
Wow, just so much racing going on right now. It's so hard to keep track here. But back to the back of the field, Adam Blattel trying to take 20th place away from Reed Rundell, give him the position across the line, but Rundell going to continue to fight down there on the bottom.
Oh, we got a spin. Caution out. Turn 2's got somebody getting the dog legs. Tommy Ryan in. Oh, and
it was Tommy Ryan
in 3. Krolbach is around. I don't know if he got the wall or not.
That had to be something separate there because Ryan was a self spin.
Oh, we got a third record by the way.
Ryan.
Yeah, Tommy Ryan just loses it. We had 3 wrecks in 1 lap.
He just loses it in the center of the turn, center of the track, really. Car just comes around.
Yeah, and you see and there's Krolbach right up ahead here. You're going to see Krolbach goes around. I don't know if he got tagged by people checking up or what, but you see Tommy Ryan goes around right there. And then here's the 1 car. He makes contact, and there goes Krolbach around, and up ahead, the 1 goes around.
Yeah, now, I will say this. I think Krolbach made just a little bit of contact with Tommy Ryan as he was getting by. And as Krolbach went up the track, the car got a little bit loose. And then McDougal gets into him. And Tommy might have, not Tommy, but... But I think Krolbach might have started to slow down a little bit there, and it doesn't look like McDougal had slowed down yet at all. You'll see here on camera. And that starts that whole chain reaction. That was a mess.
Oh, and he gets clawed. Who's that? Mellendorf that got him, I think? And then Jeff Ward gets a piece. He's in the inside wall. Another 3 or 4 cars in this one. As we have pit stops, Eckrich has come down pit road. Drew Carroll, Paul Pepper, Jonathan Goodell, Brian Yazik, Thomas George. Just to name a few, have all come to pit road. Bob Bryan has stayed out. Nick Cohan has stayed out, amongst others. But we're going to take a chance here. We're going to step away. We're going to go Global Sim Racing Channel side by side, as we'll be back here to Phoenix. Bald and the Beard with you back here at the Phoenix International Raceway as Bob Bryant leading this race. I want to send a shout out to the viewers watching us. I see Wolfgang. I don't know how to pronounce your last name, so I'm not going to try it. But Wolfgang ran the NIS with me yesterday. Actually had a pretty decent run, I believe, in that race. Good to see him here. And this is a league. You should be able to find this over in the official iRacing League area. Just look for Premier Racing League, because that's what we're watching. Patriot Fire Cup Series. It's race number 4. Pace cars in. Bob Bryant leading for the first time as the rookie stands on it, and green flag back out. Look who's third, Tyler Dalton.
Yeah, Dalton with a nice restart there. Cohen's still out there on those older tires there, Chris. 10 laps older than everybody else around him.
Yeah, and the first car with newer tires is back in 7th position, Ricky Harden. So we'll have to watch how these guys work their way up here to the front. But that last caution should mention Jeff Ward is taking his car behind the wall after making heavy contact against that wall. One car way down the infield here in 3 and 4. That's Rick Thompson. I think he's just falling to the back or something.
Dan Murray, Ricky Harden, Scott Eckridge, all three of them going out. And here comes Drew Carroll.
Wow. This looks like traffic in L.A.
It's a gaggle. That's a gaggle of cars.
Oh, it's fire drills. See, Eckridge trying to work his way through the field. Rhett McBride looking to the bottom on Cohan, not able to make the move. The different strategies, that's what makes Phoenix great. But Jeff Ward is taking his car behind the wall. Gregory McDougal, so much for that good start he had. He's taking his car behind the wall. Tough break for the one. Should mention also Steve Ritter off the track.
Everybody getting by Woodrow Mayhem right now. Woodrow up in the wall.
Mahan. Woodrow Mahan, that LPM number 12, that Ford.
The Blue Bullet.
Racing stripe. The Blue Bullet. I was trying to remember the nickname.
The Blue Bullet in the wall. Let's take a look on the replay here. He hits it hard. Hits that safer barrier.
Yeah, there's a pancake for you.
Yeah, and he's got pretty good right side damage on the car. Now, again, is this the type of damage that'll help that car turn? We're about to find out. Doesn't look too bad right now.
You know, it's funny you say that. I did that same thing last night, and I ended up finishing 4th still. So it'll probably be all right.
Ricky definitely not part of.
I was going to say, Ricky Harden fighting with Cohan now, and here comes Eckridge underneath Harden. You can tell Cohan definitely holding up the line just a little bit, but still he's 4th. He gets another caution in the next 5 laps. He's going to gain spots out of this.
Dan Murray just got into Paul Pepper as they were coming through the turn. Pepper had to save it. Dan Murray's going to get the position across the line as they head down to turn 1, but they are still side by side.
Dan Murray
is heating up.
Dan Murray, the comer and goer, and coming again. He started up in the top 10, the 7th position, fell all the way back to 28th, and now he's back up to the 10th position. Yazik in there. You got Pepper, you mentioned. You got the 54. We haven't said his name all night, of Tim Johnston, the Canadian driver, or Carolina driver, I should say, if I can learn how to read. Sorry about that, Timmy. Trouble on the track.
Oh, and it's Calvin Filarski in the 28.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like Calvin self-spin there, coming off of turn 4. Car just steps away from him. Maybe a little bit quick back to the throttle there, and it's not an on-off switch. You got to be easy on it.
Looks like he just kissed the wall a little bit there.
Good, let's do an onboard. Yeah, and he does avoid any real hard damage. He noses it in there at the end. He's going to have a little bit of left front damage on that car. Left front, a little bit on the left rear. I think he's going to be okay. I think we have a lucky dog to hand out.
I believe we do, and it's going to go to, if I see this correctly, it's going to go to Justin Rodden for a second time tonight. After these pit stops, we'll confirm it, so we're just going to wait and see here as the cars do come down pit road. And here's where that track position was gained by Cohan and the guys who took 2 tires, because everybody's on pit road, and you're likely going to see 4 tires. Speed limit of 40 mile an hour, I believe it is here. 45.
45, yes, sir.
Let's see if we have any strategies here as they went about.
Eckridge
missed the stall there a little bit. Yeesh.
Oh.
That's easy to do around a corner like that. But Bryant going to win this race off pit road pretty easily. Ricky Harden going to get P2. Fight for 3rd. Cohan will get that. I believe everybody on 4. That's where the track position gets it for Nick Cohan now. He has gained them spots back.
Wow.
And that's where the tire move can work for you.
Eckrich, a loser there indeed. That was a costly misstep there in the pit lane.
Should mention Justin Rotten did get the waiver round, so let's put him out. The Coastal Safety Auditors Lucky Dog Award goes to Justin Rotten. As you see Brutus on the screen there, your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services. Coastal Safety Auditors Lucky Dog Award for the second time tonight to Justin Rotten.
Justin coming on down the pit lane now. You'll see a little bit of damage on that rear wing.
Here's where we got to pay. Here's where we got to pay attention. As Sean, we're in a stock car, not an Indy car.
Yeah, rear. Okay, the rear. I'm sorry, the rear wicker, the spoiler. Okay.
Hey, the wicker's on a sports car. You're over 2.
Well. Okay. We'll go with spoiler. We'll stick with spoiler. Okay. Spoiler alert.
So we got 32 laps before we get to the halfway point. And remember, tonight, the halfway point, lap 78, will be when we give away bonus points. 10 down to 1. There will be no caution during that. That's the one difference between here and leagues like NASCAR and stuff. They do not throw the caution. They'll just give away bonus points and that kind of thing. So
I like, Chris, I'm sorry. I like the way you just, I gotta call you on this. I love the way you just said leagues like NASCAR. Like they're just any old league.
Hey, everybody has their respective league. NASCAR's a league. This is a league. Everybody's got their own league. So leagues like NASCAR. Hey, should mention this. One guy did stay out. Tommy Ryan, the 6 car, who was just involved in a caution before this one. He is going to be out on 14-lap tires, so about 11 laps older tires. He saw Cohan do this. Can he do it? The difference is, though, he's got a little bit of rear damage.
Yeah, so Tommy going to take a shot at that. I was just about to say the same thing. Chris is going to try the Nick Cohan strategy here and see how it works out for him here in this restart. But we're getting ready to go, brother.
Yes, the Northern Tool and Equipment Chevy going to come to the green flag there. The Frosty Pop Racing number 6. The Daytona 300 pole sitter, mind you. Going to lead him to the green, lap number 48, back out. Bryant with a good restart. He timed it perfect. Cohan going to clear for second. Oh, here we go, scattering again. 3, almost 4 wide down to turn 3.
Wow, really, really wild here in turn 3.
Oh, trouble.
We got Reed Rundell with trouble on the front straight.
Oh, and Adam Littell's in it.
Oh, and I think Reed started getting a little bit loose, and he made some contact back there, and it's a mess. Let's look at the replay. You see Reed starting to get around, and then
we're going to ride on board. Hashtag Adam Littell. Unfortunately, hashtag smoke show for him.
yeah, this is a case of just nowhere to go for Patel. But you see Reed's car, it gets loose there in the turn, and then he ricochets off of Paul Pepper back up into the wall, and then unfortunately Patel had nowhere to go, destroying that car.
I'm going to add a third hashtag into this. Hashtag barbecue. Brisket barbecue.
Yeah, get it out. It's time to put it on. It'll be ribs and brisket over in the Patel pit after the race.
So it looks like there's an interesting situation. I'm listening to who's taking the blame here, because that's how they go with the system here. They have a claim system. I'm hearing Reed Rundell taking claim, but I'm hearing Norman Peltier taking a blame too. So I wonder if there was actually 2 separate incidents. But we got cars coming to pit road here. Dan Murray coming in, Randy Yoakum, it looks like, Mark Allen, Don Runkle Jr., Gerald Livingston, just to name a few. Some of the back half cars coming to pit road. James Grula going to get the Lucky Dog Award, so let's put him out again. Brutus and the Coastal Safety Auditors Lucky Dog Award, your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services. Postal Safety Auditors, Lucky Dog going to James Grula. Let's take a break. We'll go GSRC side by side. You won't miss a single thing as you're watching the Premier Racing League live on the Global Sim Racing Channel. We're going to get the green here with 102 laps to go, and only, if I do the math, carry to 125 laps before we get to that halfway point. Bob Bryant, the rookie phenom, is leading. Nick Cohan, Ricky Harden, their P3. Tommy Ryan on the older tires, their 4th. And Rhett McBride having a good run there in the 5th position at number 2. Jake's car, Bryant's on it, back to green. Cohan not with the best of starts. Here comes Harden, the Daytona 300 winner.
Oh, 3 back in the field, almost 3 wide. It's going to be Rick Thompson, who's looking to split the middle, going to try and do it again here down the backstretch.
Oh, Tricaro sideways, saves it.
Incredible.
That's 2 for Drew. Turn 3 can easily bite you. If you drive it too deep, then back in will swing around on you. It's that flat of a corner pretty much. And you're carrying speeds of almost 165 mile an hour down to the corner. Nice save by Mr. Excitement. There's a reason why he's called that. Back here for the 12th position, Jonathan Cadell, Paul Pepper. You got Michael Krobach trying to recover from his spin.
Cadell and Pepper are door to door. Wow, that was close.
Like, I'll take that, thank you. Paul Pepper with some nose damage on that 29. Not sure where that came from. And
Krobach just getting by on there.
Now, if there's any damage you don't want, it's nose damage. There's Matt Murphy there, that 42. We haven't said much about him tonight. He's underneath of Woodrow Mahan. He's got some right side damage. We're getting that fixed. You see Rick Thompson was asked during the caution, was he involved in the wreck? No, to answer your question, he was not involved in that. A caution there in the American Pool Supply, number 76.
Yeah, things were certainly dicey for him there on the restart, though, like we were talking about. He was back there split in the middle, coming off a 2 through the dog leg. Now back up to Eckrich here.
Yeah, he's going for the 4th position on Rhett McBride. That 70 is definitely... Oh, McBride was getting squeezed.
I don't think you get a piece of paper between them there just a moment ago.
Yeah, you couldn't. I don't think Eckert's meant to do that either, but unfortunately, that's just short track racing for you a little bit. But Red McBride is fighting. He's not letting him go. And he will there. Eckert's going to get the roll. And you see Ricky Harden kind of blinking out a little bit. There's your ride on board with our door cam. Dougie Beard always coming up with those classic cameras.
Boy, talk about a driver struggling a little bit this evening. James Grahula did not qualify for this race. He hasn't moved. He's still in 27th spot. It's where he started. It's where he is now.
Yeah, I think the highest we've seen him is like the 19th position. That just shows you track position, how tough it is here. He's a lap down a little bit ago. Got the Coastal Safety Honors Lucky Dog Award as he goes by Rich Jetty there in the 77. I believe that, or that's Mellendorf in 41.
That's Mellendorf by there, yeah.
Bob Bryant out to a 1.1 second lead over Nick Cohan. And watching Drew Carroll drive underneath the double five. Yazik able to hold him off there in front end. Tyler Dalton, who's having a good run there in the 09. Dalton in the 7th position, started 10th.
Wow, Norman Pelletier back here getting passed by Mark Allen. Oh, Pelletier runs right up on him, going into 3. This is a good battle for position. Allen just gets by him. Pelletier going to try and get it back here, coming across the front straight. Going to get a tire in.
Allen with that damage right side there in that 19 Bud Light machine. The 56 Rain-X car going to take the position away. Also, a second ago, saw Rick Thompson gain a position. He got by Woodrow Mahan to move him to the 15th position on that lap. Didn't want to take the battle away from those two, but Pelletier gaining a spot also. Hey, what? Paul Pepper going by Krobach for position here. And also up a little bit further up, Drew Carroll, he's gotten by Yazik. No, Yazik's actually gone ahead of 2 cars, so he's on the move. But Drew Carroll looking to go by R.J. Williams there in that 51 car, but Yazik's already gained 2 spots, and he's looking to get past Tommy Ryan in the 6th. Tell you what, this is about the lap where Tommy Ryan's like, dude, throw a caution. We need a caution here. They've run enough laps where I think tires could play a role. So if he can get a caution here, he'll get that track position. Hence why you would pit there. Only take the 2 tires. But so far, it's been clean and green. We've had the 5 on cautions for 30 laps so far. As we are 13 laps away from the halfway point, Bob Bryant stretching that lead out to 1.8 seconds. He's almost out in Mesa right now, and while Yazik getting close to Tommy Ryan.
A driver out here struggling right now is Dan Murray. The greedy powered car he's back, dropped 15 spots, fighting in 22nd position, but he's picking up spots. He's picking them up quick. Got fresher tires.
And
just in front of him.
It gets into Mark Allen.
Oh, jeez.
And how did Murray get through there? Ooh, another car hits him hard. Livingston.
Oh, Murray just gets through there. Maybe a little bit of contact from behind. But you're going to see Mark Allen go around there. And Murray just gets by there in the 5.
Blue car there got into him. I'm not sure who that was. We're going to go on board with Dan Murray, and ladies and gentlemen, this is how you miss a wreck. Wow. You were talking about the whole paper thing there, Sean?
Yeah, and he did get a little bit of contact from behind by Calvin Filarski, but it's not bad at all. The car is fine.
So there's the caution Tommy Ryan needed, as he is going to pit from the 7th position. Now, do we try strategy here to get to that halfway point, or do you just go with 4 tires here?
Nah, I gotta take the 4 tires. Take the 4 tires, I think.
What's more important, the 40 points or the 10 you're going to get here in 13 laps, or 10 laps now, I should say? We're about to find out who's thinking what. Brett McBride can be the first of the leaders to its pit stall. think it might have been Krahula that was that other car in that wreck. I'm going to have to check. Everybody, 4 tires and fuel, and easily Bob Bryant. Look at Eckridge with a good stop. Not sure if he's going to get Cohan, though.
So far, I'm seeing everybody going 4 on this one. 4 on this one here, Chris.
Everybody 4 tires, so you are correct, Sean. Good call on that. But real quickly, got to give away the Coastal Safety Auditor's Lucky Dog Award, and that's going to go to Thomas George in a 24. So put him out. Mr. Brutus himself and the Coastal Safety Auditor's Lucky Dog, your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services. Coastal Safety Auditor's Lucky Dog to Thomas George.
Well, we are almost at halfway point, and there are bonus points looming out there. Bob Bryant, the rookie, has been fast all night. Now, let's listen. He's a rookie to this league, Chris. Have you checked out this dude's I rating?
Yeah, it's like double mine. Actually, let me correct. It's triple mine.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, Bob Bryant is 6112 I rating. I think I just got above 2200.
Yeah, and for those that, and this is always a possibility, we're always getting new viewers here, but the I rating is basically, that's your experience in the iRacing service and the time you spend driving, turning laps, and avoiding incidents, and establishing yourself as a really good driver. Wins, consistency, all these things wrapped up into that I rating. It's a very unique system. It's a very good system. And if you're up in that 6,000 range, you have definitely put your time in. Yeah.
You've definitely got your share of wins and good finishes. Now, I should mention, and I have an app here where I'm able to see the average rating. The average rating for tonight's 36-car field, and it actually adds in DJ Beverly, who didn't start this race, was 32.45. So that just shows you the quality of field here. 32.45. That's a pretty solid A-class driver, 9 times out of 10 in iRacing. So that just shows you the good field that these guys have. As we wrap up the 6th caution here in the race, we are going to have 8 laps to that halfway point. Who's going to get the 10 bonus points? Do you think the racing's been nuts? Let's see how much they pick it up now. But it will be Bob Bryant, Nick Cohan, Scott Eckridge, Ricky Harden, Tommy Ryan. The strategy worked for him too. He is now 5th. Brett McBride, Brian Yazik up to 7th. He's slowly creeping himself up there. Cohan trying to get that angle. You see him a little higher on the track. He's going to try to get that runoff forward, but Bob Bryant gets him. Eckridge caught sleeping again.
Yeah, Nick Cohan caught sleeping maybe just a little bit too there.
1 and 2. Drew Carroll drops it to the bottom. I didn't think there was room.
Cadell really fighting hard in the middle of all that.
I mean, he put it down there where you're not supposed to put it going into turn 1. He was right up against the wall.
Look at Cadell there on the high side, Chris. Lots of power.
You mentioned that high line might be coming to work.
It might be, and they are. Oh man, they are door handle to door handle there.
Alza.
Yeah, it looked like Drew maybe got a little loose there, didn't it?
That inside line is an easy way to get loose in this kind of track. But Carroll still not going to clear him. Cadell, oh, wow. That's awesome.
Drew's car looking a little squirrely there again.
Oh, apparently you didn't see Cadell's car then. Oh, slide job by Carroll.
Yeah. These boys are playing with fire.
Times when you play with fire?
Oh, Krobach with the move on Cadell.
Robach not able to clear. Right up ahead, RJ Williams. I think Carroll got around him on the outside. They're up high here. You got a fight up in front there. Yazik and Tommy Ryan battling for the 6th position.
Keep your head on a swivel, folks. Lots going on out here.
Next, oh, Tommy's sliding. He saves it. He's going to lose 2 spots. Tyler Dalton going to get to his inside. 3 laps. Make that 4 laps. Ryan got about a half second on Cohan.
Jetty and Thompson back here fighting for 14th. Oh, and Thompson's loose.
Wow, he saved it.
Thompson is loose. He does save it.
I wonder if he got bitten by the apron. Did he get bitten by that yellow line?
I'm trying to see that now.
No, he was down. Wow. That transition got him. I'm going to go on board Murray, but I think the transition bit him. Wow.
Yeah.
So back to
Murray
2 laps to go
gets
here.
A good shot of it.
That's right in your living room, boys and girls. Red McBride on the back bumper of Ricky Harden. I thought the Chrome Horn was coming to work. This is for the 5th position. Bride having a great run.
Yeah, he is getting ready to have to deal with the lap car here of Mark Allen just in front of him.
Here we go, final lap of this stage. The halfway mark coming next lap. Have to watch closely here. Rhett McBride trying to get a run back there into 15. We'll keep an eye on him as Bryant not able to get the run there. McBride. Eckert's tried to dive it in there on Cohan. Not going to be able to do it, so Bob Bryant is going to come off turn 4. Give him a bonus of 10 as he'll lead the halfway point. The American Pool Supply Halfway Award leader is Bob Bryant. The unacceptable racing number 53. He'll get the 10 points. Cohan will get 9. Eckrich with 8. McBride has gone by Ricky Harden for 4th, but
yeah.
Harden will get the 7 points there, but all the way down to 10th place. We'll get 1 point in 10th place, R.J. Williams.
And hey, look who finds himself up here in this top 10 now. Brian Yazik, 6th place there and picking up some bonus points. So there we go. Yazik starting to establish himself a little bit here this evening.
Look at this dogfight back here. Tyler Dalton, Tommy Ryan, Drew Carroll, all in this mess. R.J. Williams is having a great run.
Oh, and I
thought Yazik was going to lose it. He had to save it. Wow.
Wow.
Just Yazik.
Oh, and he just made a little bit of contact with Cadell as Cadell was trying to get by him. Let's look at the replay here. Yazik just going to lose it coming off of turn 2 there, Chris.
And you see there the near contact. I don't think they actually touched, but pretty close.
Yeah, it sure looked close, but now Yazik is back up to speed. Now he's tracking again. He's got
for second,
right behind him.
For second, Eckrich has taken the spot away, so the guy who's been the one to beat tonight, at least my opinion, I mean, him and Bob Bryant have been the fastest too, but Eckrich has been the guy who's taken second. Let's see if he can make a move on Bob Bryant.
That's good news for Eckrich now. He can get to work on what's important, and that's the lead.
Drew Carroll inside of Tyler Dalton. This is for 6th. He's got Tommy Ryan right there behind him. Dalton using that high line. He should be able to get the run off the corner here, but Drew Carroll, hold on there, buddy.
Bringing all that breathtaking action to you right here on the Global Sim Racing channel, Chris.
That's round 3, by the way, with looseness for Drew Carroll. Enjoying watching this series. Make sure you join us each and every Thursday night. Next week, we're in Auto Club. It's week 3 of our West Coast tour. You talking about a fun track, Auto Club? Yeah, we're going to have some fun there. After that, we go to Las Vegas.
Eckrich is starting to pick him up just a little bit here, Chris. He's got it down to half a second.
Eckrich last week's winner. Matter of fact, the last 2 winners on the circuit. Bryant winning at Homestead, Eckrich winning at Sonoma. Battling for 1-2 here. How about Rhett McBride up to the 4th position, started 25th. There's your gainer of the night so far. 25th to 4th for that number 2 Jags car. He has not had the best season so far, but he is definitely putting all the pieces together tonight so far.
Man, Drew Carroll is really hunting Tyler Dalton right now, trying to find a way to get around Tyler. He gets right there to him, but he cannot complete the pass.
Right behind them, teammates battling for 12th. Krobach, Yazik. Yazik back up to 11th. Here comes Tim Johnson. Yazik scraping it up there on that outside wall. You see that outside line is starting to come to work. Look at Johnston working it.
You see Yazik there on screen fighting on the inside. Or I'm sorry, that's Krobach there in the 7. Yazik just up in front of him.
Yeah, I think the low line's still your fast way in turn 1 and 2, but you get a 3 and 4 here. If you can get a nose on the outside, you can make a move here. Now Krobach going to slide up. We'll see if Johnston crosses over. He will.
I'm telling you, this battle for 6th place is intense. Drew Carroll still working on Dalton, trying to get a wheel inside. Gonna look to make a move on him here. Heading to the dog leg.
Carroll's got him. You got fights everywhere on the track for 6, for 12. Fights up here in the booth between Sean and Amjad for burgers. You got everything going here. Fights everywhere in Phoenix.
Wow, give it to Carroll. Finally pull off the pass there. He'd been working on that for quite a while there on Dalton.
Back to that position for that 12th place battle. Krobach and the inside of Tim Johnston. They're still at it. Johnston cleared him off too, and we got a battle for the lead shaping up. Like I said, there's battles everywhere.
Oh, Thomas George off the track, off of turn 4, into the pit, really, really fast, and goes nose into the pit wall. Wow, I don't know what happened there. His race is over.
He's down on the apron, which is not where you want to be. I think that's trying to come to pit road and maybe got on the brakes too hard and locked him up. Ouch, wow.
Yeah, that unfortunately, that's going to be an ender for him. That destroyed the front end of that car.
As the song once said, he went down in a blaze of glory.
Oh, don't get me singing that, please. Oof. Please.
That's what you call parking it right there. For the lead, though, this battle is on. They're coming up on the lap car. Travis McQuiston there in that 93. He's got some damage on his nose. But Eckrich trying to get that run, trying to get that bottom line to work. Even get a little clean air on that Ford Fusion. McQuiston lets him go. Should mention, do have 27 cars on the lead lap. The first one lap down is Thomas George, believe it or not. So everybody's on the lead lap who's still in the running. Phoenix is very notorious for that kind of thing.
While the leaders have Snoop, Dawgy, Don in front of them, that is the last car on the lead lap right now, Chris.
Yeah, Don running in that 27th position. He was joking around with Karula a few minutes ago about how he's had a clean race, and then there was contact between him and Karula, and he had an incident point given to him, and, well, of course, he started yelling at him. As Eckrich dives it to the bottom, puts 2 underneath the yellow. Bryant's going to give him room. Runkle's going to see if Eckrich used them for a pick. Not able to get that run, though.
Oh, Eckrich right up on the bumper there.
If he drops a little love. Oh, they both go down there. Eckrich taking that same line. That's the line. And you know what? That becomes an actual line later in this race, I think. You can keep that car underneath you as you're right on board with Eckrich.
Yeah, Eckrich trying to use that the yellow there to help the car turn.
Sometimes you just got to go where they ain't, they say.
Great shot on board with Bryant, looking back at Eckrich, chasing him down.
Tell you what, the 2 fastest cars the last time by is, ooh, Eckrich get a little loose off that corner. The 2 cars right behind these guys, Nick Cohan and Rhett McBride, were the fastest cars that last time by. I'm just checking the times at the line. It actually was Bryant this time. But all 4 of those guys are right on top of another. You see Cohan right there in the background, and then Rhett McBride there too. Coming up on lap number 30 of this run. Now, they cannot make it the rest of the way on fuel. If I saw the tank correctly, it should be about 72 to 75 laps on a tank of fuel. So we are going to see pit stops, I would say about 10 to 15 to go, unless they pit for tires. So just marking that in case we don't get another one of those things between now and then. Yeah. The yellow thing.
Well, yeah, the yellow thing definitely is. I think that's going to be a factor before this race is over. Still a lot of racing left to be done. Chris, things have really gotten spread out around the track. Everybody, battling for their own little pace of real estate right now. Lap cars are a factor, doing a good job of moving out of the way. Snoop, Dawgy, Don is one of them, letting a whole train of cars get by him right now. Dalton, Harden just get by. Oh, boy. And RJ Williams almost gets into Don Runkle. That was close.
That's a gaggle of cars back there where he is.
Yeah, and Don, to his credit now, he is having a clean race. The car looks good. He just doesn't have the pace these guys have right now, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's just trying to zigzag the right way so he don't zig and one zags. If that happens, somebody's going to make contact. But let's move up here to the 6th position. You talked about this. Drew Carroll and Ricky Harden. They are battling. We're going to find out here these two will pulled away from that pack. Right on board with 87, Mr. Excitement.
So we've got a couple of guys in the top 15 that really, really have done a lot of moving through this field. We know Rhett McBride up there in Ford came all the way from 25th spot to find himself there. Rich Jetty, the 77, the Pennsylvania driver. Yeah, Rich having a strong run, man. He's up 16 spots. He started 30th in this race. Finds himself in 14th right now. And there's more ahead of him.
Yeah, he was a lap down early. He got the first Coastal Safety Auditors Lucky Dog Award. That Steel Horse Racing car has got to fight for the lead. Eckert's driving to the bottom again, but you should say Rich Jetty doing a nice job there in 14th before we jinx him too. Eckert's not able to make that bottom work. You wonder, will he try the high side sooner or later here? Or will he put the bumper to him? I mean, it's clean racing. You can't say anything different. Eckert's gets a run through too. Here he goes.
Ooh.
Look at that high line. Clears them. That's what's great about turn 4 at this track.
Wow. And hats off to Bryant. What a job he's doing getting off the turns here, Chris. Really, that car is handling very, very well. Now they're going to catch up to Mark Allen here real quick. Maybe Bob try to use Mark as a little bit of a pick here.
Oh, was there contact?
No, not quite. Almost.
Now they're going to catch him in a bad spot here. Eckert's going to lose a little momentum there. Now, don't look far, but here's Cohan. I was just watching him there. Don't mess with the Cohan up to 3rd. Cohan was kind of calling his shot earlier today on Facebook, saying he had a good shot at this. Now you wonder, this is the right time, Sean. I think 52 laps to go this time by. You still got plenty of time for Eckert's to catch Bryant. Why not try the high line in 3 and 4 and see what happens?
Why not? You're going to have to start exploring at some point. You've tried this for many laps now. It's not worked out, so let's look at another way to get around possibly. Now the leader's coming up on the 27 of Justin Rodden, who just came out of the pit lane.
Let's see if Rodden can get away with them before Mr. Feelgoods. He has.
Yeah, that car is fighting some pretty heavy damage. I don't know if he's going to have enough speed to hold them off.
No, it looks like he's starting to stretch it.
Yeah, so far so good.
Eckert's trying to have bottom again. Oh, man! Shut the door on him. No, Sufil.
back here in the field, Filarski and Wilco having a nice little battle. Wilco going to be the one taking the position from Calvin Filarski. That's for 23rd place.
There's a lead lap battle there between those two with Filarski and Wilco. You mentioned Wilco. I don't think we've said his name once tonight. Cohan has caught the top two. Cohan was right back there saving his tires while these two went to war with each other. And coming by, complete lap 108 to 156. Race number 4 here of the Premier Racing League Patriot Fire Cup Series. Then next week will be at Auto Club Speedway, week 3 of this little West Coast trip that we have. Hope you brought enough clothes, Sean.
I'm good. Listen, this battle here, 7th through about 13th place, really intense. No, I'm sorry, take that back, through 12th. Okay, go back to Tim Johnston. Yazik has not picked up any ground yet since he got into that little bit of trouble there, Chris.
No, he hasn't.
Still trying to
Cadell's sliding up a little bit. Him and Harden almost make contact. Let's see if Yazik drops it down here, 3 wide, maybe. No, and you know what I'm seeing? I see some right side damage on Yazik's car.
Yeah, he does.
One-on-one with something.
They may have made some side-by-side contact there at some point. This group has been together for at least the last 20 laps, Chris, and so seeing that damage on Yazik, not a big surprise. Ricky Harden working on the bumper Yazik now.
You see Cadell has gone by Harden. You see Yazik's gone by. Here comes Tim Johnson at 54, the Carolina driver. The Hensley Motorsports car. Right up ahead there, you see R.J. Williams underneath Tyler Dalton for 7th.
Here comes Ricky Harden. Ricky Harden's in the pit.
Ricky Harden coming to pit road. Oh, short stint here.
First domino to fall.
See how the tires make a difference now. But that Goat Rope Racing number 15, Daytona 300 winner. And the leaders are in. Here comes Eckrich and Cohan. Rhett McBride also, but Bryant staying out.
How far will Bryant push this? Maybe he comes around next time.
Ricky Harden away. He's got 4 new shoes.
I'm going to keep an eye on Bryant here. Here he comes. Bryant's in.
Yeah, he saw them, and he's like, I got to go now, because Eckrich could get the lead with that just split-second decision.
Ooh, Bryant really fast to the line. I think he got it slowed up just in time, though. Gonna watch Bryant on this pit stop.
Good stops for the leaders. Oh, and I think Eckrich just kissed the inside wall there a little bit. Did he? Maybe he's finding the short way to get there. I was trying to. No, he's got no damage, so I think he didn't. He missed that wall. He found the shortest way around that track, though.
All right, Bryant's in. Right sides are up and down. Left side's going up. Be 4 tires and fuel for Bryant, and he's away.
Meanwhile, Eckrich is in turn 2 right now. He's got him. Eckrich is going to take the lead here.
Here comes Nick Cohan. Got to run. Cohan going to go to the inside. Oh.
3 wide.
Oh, that was close. That's going to keep them side by side. As they head across the start-finish line, you're going to give it to Bob Bryant, but Cohan going to continue to fight down there on the inside.
Now, these guys are not the leaders. The leader of the race is Brian Yazik right now as Tim Johnston comes to pit road. Brian Yazik is the leader. Rich Jetty now going to move up to second with Johnson pitting. Now, if these guys get a caution, all these guys are going to be a lap down. Here comes Peltier to pit road. And Yazik calling his pit now. As Matt Murphy comes to pit road, Mark Allen's in. Yazik coming down pit road now, just getting to his pit entry. That'll hand the lead to Rich Jetty there in the 77. Randy Yoakum still yet to pit there in the 8. And there's James Krahula, Mr. Strategy, if you want to call him that. Seems every race he pulls something off.
Mm-hmm.
And here he is. Oh, right on cue.
Oh, wow. Drew Carroll gets into R.J. Williams there in the entry of the turn. Carroll's got the run. Just a slight tap there on the left rear of R.J. Williams. Sends him around. Let's look at the replay, Chris.
Oh, yeah, right there. Gets into 51 and does a good job keeping off the wall. He's keeping off anyone. Oh, no, Dan Murray.
Dan Murray. Pow. Oh, boy. We had a mess like this just last night in the Lionheart IndyCar Series. And
I don't know what to say about this, but, like, you got to be kidding me with this luck stuff. I just talked about Krahula and his luck, and bam. Well, anyways, the leaders who have not pitted are going to come to pit road. This is going to shake everything up. You might as well get a Yahtzee can and get the dice ready.
I think this race has seen close to just about everything here so far tonight, Chris.
Yeah. And boy, if you look at Krahula's pit crew, he's got tuxedos on there. So, yeah, we've seen it all.
R.J. Williams' car, boy, it's a mess.
Okay, never mind. For him. Ricky Harden's got overalls on his pit crew. So now I've really seen it all. I have to go here. I'm going to look for the lucky dog real quickly here as we are at lap 119. Matter of fact, we'll step away real quickly here. We'll go find the lucky dog and we'll come back. We'll get you these last 38 laps of racing here at the Phoenix International Raceway. And back at the Phoenix International Raceway as we get ready to go back to racing. We'll get you up to date where everybody is right now. Should mention real quickly, Tyler Dalton, the Coastal Safety Honors Lucky Dog Award. Coastal Safety Honors, your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services. So Bob Bryant is going to be the leader. Somehow, he has stayed on the lead lap out of this whole thing. He's going to be the leader. Tommy Ryan second. Look who's third. Michael Krolak. Is the luck finally changing for him? He's there in third. Rich Jetty, the car who was leading when the caution came out, he'll be fourth, and Rhett McBride going to be fifth. You had a lot of cars take waiver rounds, and I'll try to get you that list here in a second when we go green. 35 laps to go to settle this whole thing here in Phoenix, but Bob Bryant in the driver's seat now with Krolak behind him back to racing.
It is a flying start indeed. Cohead back here fighting for fifth spot.
All right, so your wave-around cars I can mention real quickly were Paul Pepper, Jonathan Cadell, Brian Yazik, Drew Carroll, Tim Johnston, R.J. Williams, and Matt Murphy, all back on the lead lap from the wave-around as Krobach clears for third. Here comes Rhett McBride. Here comes Nick Cohan. Scott Eckridge back there, and I believe Eckridge pitted for tires. 3 wide and 2.
Oh, boy, this is intense.
Oh, Woodrum Hahn sideways. He saves it.
Brett McBride and Krobach putting on a clinic right now, side-by-side racing those two. Krobach runs it wide.
Oh, whoa.
Krobach runs it wide. Jetty gets down in between. They were 3 wide there for a second. Eckridge, Jetty, and Krobach.
Krobach sliding back just a little bit here. Not sure if he's just maybe being a little conservative, trying to just get a good finish out of it, or... Red McBride up to the 4th position. Cohan to 5th. Here comes Eckridge, going to go to 6th. Ricky Harden makes a big move to the inside here of Jetty. Well, he's driving away to the bottom. He's almost in Tempe down there. As Cohan and Eckridge to the outside, and Cohan with a power move.
Look at that. Look at Eckridge just really get that run on the outside there up around Cohan. Looked like he tried to maybe cross him over there coming out of 4. Thinks better of it. Gets a really nice run up on the bumper here in the middle of turn 1 and 2.
And I should mention James Krahula, fans, he is in 12th right now. He was up there towards the top on that pit stop. He is in 12th right now there in that number 4, the MP3 Designs car.
Krahula was at the back of this field at one point, the very, very last car in the race at one point.
Thompson getting lapped by the leaders here. He'll be 22nd, that American Pool Supply Ford Fusion. Bob Bryant trying to make it 2 wins for him. And he's got a whole field of cars back behind him that want to be the 4th first-time winner this season. Snoop Dawgy on 250.
Bryant really got a handle on it right now here, Chris. The car looks good, and so does he. Eckridge trying to make the move on Cohan.
You know, it's funny, I made the joke about the next episode. Of course, that was one of the songs that Snoop had, and you think of... this race has been like a bunch of different episodes. You had one different version of the race, and you got another different version, and another different... It's like different episodes.
I'm with you. I'm with you on it. Definitely. It has been a series of episodes this evening.
And the one thing is, though, is you will not be cliffhanged in this race. We will have a winner.
Yazik, Drew Carroll battling for position. This is a battle for 15th.
A battle amongst teammates there is third 3 wide in the middle. Rich Jetty's loose in the middle. Yikes. Sandwiched between the lap car of Rick Thompson and the lead lap car of Ricky Harden. Oh, so that thing turned sideways.
Krobach getting to the inside of Jetty here. Tyler Dalton trying to get up with him, make that run.
Battle for second. Rhett McBride, that 2 car, he's loose off 4. His teammate going to go to the outside there, Cohan.
Tommy Ryan up to second.
It's all about a second behind leader Bob Bryant, who has led us 81 laps out of this in this race. 91, that is, out of 131, so he led all but 40 laps. Oh, and Tommy almost got the wall. McBride going to try to snag second. Cohan's going to drop it to the bottom. Meanwhile, Scott Eckridge is like, boys, please behave.
Oh, boy. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, whoa, McBride!
Oh, and he can't save it. That's going to bring out a yellow, I think. Yes, the yellow's out.
Around. Oh, wow. Did he keep it off the wall? I think he...
No, Rhett gets some of the wall, and then gets a little bit on the rear end as well. Car gets turned around, he's able to get back under power, but the car had gotten too slow there in the racing line, and that's what brings out the caution. Let's check it on the replay.
Oh, yeah, there's a tank slapper. Yep. A break for that Jags number 2. He was having a great run tonight.
Yeah, he was, man. He was up, 23 spots, 24 spots, I think, right there. Before that spin, and we're going to go on board with him here. Just not good. That just breaks on him off the turn there, Chris.
A tough break for him, but one man's lost another man's treasure, and that one man is Rick Thompson. He is going to be your Coastal Safety Honors Lucky Dog Award, so put him out. There's Brutus. Your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services. Rick Thompson, your lucky dog. Coastal Safety Honor Lucky Dog. Now let's see how the pit strategy is going to work here. I'm thinking everybody's coming for 4 here. I don't see strategy happening here.
All the leaders are in and coming down pit road.
I think it's still too early for 2. I think if you get 4 here, get a 10-lap run, maybe you come get 2 or 4. I can see that, but
mistake-free. Got to be mistake-free
yes,
here. Mistake-free on these pit stops.
Good call.
Eckrich cannot afford that same mistake again.
Cohen overshoots it. There's your mistake. Everybody 4 tires and fuel. Let's see the race off pit road. It is going to be close. So Brian got him. Eckrich is going to be second, third, it looks like.
Yes, because Tommy Ryan just got past him there at the line. I mean, Eckrich's car came down off the jack. It was away, and Tommy just inched by a bumper.
It looks like the big loser going to be Cohen. Going to fall back from 3rd to 5th. Rich Jetty gaining some spots. He's going to be 6th, and then Kromach coming out in 7th.
And that was the most critical pit stop of the night, right there.
As of now, it is. There always could be a caution 10 laps from now, and then that becomes it. But here's the question. Do you stay out the rest of the way from here?
I think it is a position battle from here, Chris. I think you're going to be really hard-pressed to give it up at this point.
Well, we've seen 2 guys, Tommy Ryan, and of course the other name slips my head here, Nick Cohen, was guys who ran about 10 laps on tires, had a caution, stayed out, and they got chewed up by the first couple cars. Granted, they stayed in the top 10, so it just makes you wonder when that 10 lap to go mark gets here, what's the risk, what's the reward? We'll just have to see here. But this is the 8th caution of the night so far. We have had 8 cautions for 31 laps in this race.
And you know what? I'll take that, Chris. Honestly, I will. This has been a great race. This has been a great race this evening, and the cautions have been brief enough to where it's not been a bother. To be honest with you, it's even played into the strategy of the race just a little bit.
We've also had 8 lead changes, as I'm counting really quickly. I see 6 different drivers have led for 8 different times, so it's been overall a good race. We're going to get 1 to go here, so we're going to have 19 laps to go when we go green.
And then next week we get into a totally different brand of racing.
2 mile, one of the oldest surfaces in iRacing / NASCAR with the Auto Club Speedway, hashtag I still call it California.
Time to head to Hollywood.
Hey, there's 20 to go, Sean. What do we do here?
Baby, it's time to boogie. Let's get this party started.
Green flag going to come out. Bob Bryant, Tommy Ryan, and back to racing. Eckrich again sleeping. Ricky Harden drops down. Elevator ball contact.
Oh, Eckrich gets into Harden.
Rich Jetty in the wall.
Yeah, let's see. We're going to go on board with Eckrich here.
Martin's clear there. Oh, Eckrich runs him over.
Boy, that's tough. I don't know.
You know what? I think that's a racing move, to be honest with you. I'm not going to blame Eckrich or Ricky Harden.
Yeah, but I think both drivers are going to disagree with each other because I think Ricky was trying to come down there and wasn't clear. And
you know what?
boy.
You know what? This is one of those situations. I want to see if we can get one more replay in that same view here, Amjad. I'm going to bring up a situation here. You look right behind the 70. Nick Cohan's there. Eckrich can't afford to jump on the brakes early because Cohan would be climbing up him. So you see this 21's going to dive low here. And then the 70's right in front there. He's got to dive low, and he can't hit the brakes or else he gets run over.
Right. Yeah.
I think it's a racing incident. You can't blame anybody for that.
So that man, I'm shaking my head at that one there still, Chris. Trying to recover from it like the rest of this field is now, but that really shakes things up here at the top.
It does, and not only that, I think it eliminates the whole tire strategy now because you're going to get a green with about 12 to go, and there's no point now to pitting. So you can kind of throw your tires out the window now. They're done. But what it does do is bring Rich Jetty up to 4th with the damage. And, oh, this is ironic. What better guy to give a Lucky Dog award, Coastal Safety Honors Lucky Dog, than to the dog himself, Snoop Doggy Don. Gets the Coastal Safety Honors Lucky Dog Award, your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services. Snoop Doggy Don looking to drop it like it's hot here with 15 to go.
Snoop Doggy Don. I didn't do that. I'm sorry, I didn't do that. Yeah, I said I wasn't going to do that.
Now,
I did it.
There went our viewers, but hey.
We do, speaking of our viewers, we do appreciate everybody in the live YouTube chat this evening. Keep it up.
Wait a minute, I do have this glass case next to me. When Sean sings, smash this. Okay.
Yeah, I just broke the rules. I'm not supposed to do that. Chris, this restart is going to be madness.
Yeah, 15 to go this time by, so we'll go green probably about 13 or 14 to go. Hey, well, we've had our own version of madness. I'm not going to go say the whole term because I don't want to get sued. But, of course, the tournament that starts today, and we got our own little madness going on the track tonight.
Oh, that crazy little basketball tournament they do every year in college.
Yeah.
Right, that thing. That can be referred to by no other name.
But madness.
Right. All right, we're not going to. There you go. The National Collegiate Basketball Championship. There you go.
I guess that works. Where 68 teams meet and one team beats another until they're down to 2.
All right, we still have the lights on, so we still got one more lap to think about things here, Chris. You know, a couple of those drivers that we talked about needing a good run tonight are actually sitting in pretty good position. I mean, Krobach, you can't fault the guy for the run he's had tonight. He's got himself in the right place. Yazik, you know, he started in 12th. He's sitting here just outside the top 10. They needed help. They're getting it right now.
Well,
Brahula, another big surprise is he started all the way in the back of the field. Didn't even take qualifying time. All right, Chris, what's going on? Eckrich is in the pits.
Yeah, I was listening. He's talking about getting his black cleared and getting an EOL, so I don't know if Eckrich is taking blame for the wreck in the end. But we'll have to see as we got 1 to go. We're going to go green with the unlucky 13 laps to go. Mention those guys. You hope Krobach, you hope his mind isn't in the state right now where he's thinking, all right, what's going to go wrong now?
All right, so Eckrich going to go ahead and take the penalty and go to the back of the field.
Yep, so he'll take the blame for that wreck. I really can't blame anyone for it, to be honest with you. But Bob Bryant going to go back to racing here. 13 to go. He's got Tommy Ryan on his outside. Right back on the pedal he is. Rich Jetty now in the third position with the damage on his right side. And Cohan pushing Tommy Ryan into one.
3 wide into 1. Drew Carroll down on the inside. Woodrow Mahon in the middle.
Loud Pedal Motorsports 3 wide all by themselves.
Gerald Livingston, haven't mentioned his name much tonight. He's on the outside of that.
Oh, Livingston drives it deep. He's in the wall.
Yes, he
And
is.
caution
And there's
is out.
Yazik.
As they were 3 wide off 4 with Krobach. Wow.
It looks like
Rundell.
it might have started with Wilco there. Yeah. Wilco going to make contact with the 8 car. Going to make contact with Randy Yoakum, and then Filarski noses into him. Reed Rundell has nowhere to go.
Looks like Ricky Hart maybe getting a piece of that too.
You're going to go on board with Ricky Harden here on the replay. Ricky dropping down there in the apron.
They're 3 wide going to the corner, and there's just not room there. Wow.
And Ricky's going to get a piece of that.
But unfortunately for Wilco, Goofy for another race. Gotta give him one. He's in the wall. He's gonna need some Tylenol.
Well, Bob Bryant does not want to see another caution. He wants to finish this race right where he's at. He's got to he's got to pull off another great restart here, Chris.
He does, and this is the 10th caution. He's been timing them perfect all night. Now the question is, does Tommy Ryan have a magical restart in him? And let's look at the consistencies of, which by the way, I guess we should give away a lucky dog real quick too, and that's Justin Rodden. I think he's up to his 3rd Lucky Dog Award. As we put him out, here's Brutus once again. Coastal Safety Honors, your one-stop shop provider in life safety equipment services. With Coastal Safety Honors, Justin Rodden getting that. And it's safe to say, I think we've made up for the non-cautions we had last week at Sonoma and the other stuff. Brutus definitely went 2 straight weeks without much of a bathroom trip, and tonight he's had plenty of visits.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's no grass, so he's probably confused figuring out where to go. Hopefully he's not going up in the cactus. That wouldn't be good. That would not be good.
I believe they've got something set up there over in Don Runkle's pit. He's been visiting that station. Yeah.
Well done, Sean. I will make sure that I don't know, Sean, you might not want to touch that then. Just gonna put that out there.
We've got Alika 80 here in the chat going to the race this weekend at Phoenix. Pre-gaming, watching a little bit of iRacing tonight.
Nothing wrong with that. You got the Xfinity Series running Saturday and then the Cup Series Sunday. Mr. Tungate is telling you no more singing, by the way, just to clarify.
Yeah.
Jonathan Fitzwater, this is why I don't get healthy amounts of sleep. Interesting. If you don't get healthy amounts of sleep because of iRacing, that's a problem. Lights are out, and let's reset the top 10 real quickly here. Bob Bryant, Tommy Ryan, Nick Cohan, Rich Jetty up to 4th. You got Tyler Dalton in 5th, Michael Krobach, Jonathan Goodell, Gerald Livingston from 34th to 8th, Drew Carroll and Woodrow Mahan, your top 10.
James Scravula sitting just outside that top 10 right now. Finds himself in 14th place. Guy that was all the way at the back of the field early in this race finds himself with a shot at the top 10 right now.
So here we go. Pace car going to pull off with 8 laps to go. And once again, he's on it. Bryant's been taking those early starts. Tommy Ryan gets a pretty good start himself. Wow, he had to shut the door on Cohan.
Yeah, he did. Bryant kind of shut the door there a little bit himself.
Cohen's there, though, inside.
Bryant's starting to walk away, though.
Look at Tyler Dalton up to 4th. He got a lucky dog a little bit ago.
Here's Crowbot, got himself up to 6th.
That's exactly the run he needed. Cohen going to clear for 2nd.
Yazik's in the wall. Yazik's in the wall. Yazik's in the wall. The caution is out.
Oh, big one here. Jetty's in it. Ricky Harden. A lot of cars. Rick Thompson.
I'm afraid that might have all started with Brian Yazik there.
Ouch. So, Sean, we've been waiting for this moment for 4 races.
Well, boy.
Wow, Jetty, nice miss. And we might want to jump on board Norman Peltier after this.
Yeah, let's jump on board with the number 56 here. Apparently, he had a pretty good view that I didn't see.
Well, when you have Rain-X on your windshield, you can miss anything. Wreck's going to happen way up ahead here, and there's the pile up.
Wow. Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Danger all around me.
So, Sean, Brian Yazik was the cause of the caution here?
Yeah, I think so.
Put it out for Yazik.
And he's just not happy right now.
No, he's not.
All slips away from him there in the last 10 laps of this race. What a shame. He was up to 8th. He was up to 8th right there, too.
According to Gary Jones, he blames the singing by you for this wreck, which makes sense. So lucky dog for the umpteenth time tonight, Justin Rodden. Your Coastal Safety Honors Lucky Dog Award, your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services. Justin Rodden getting the lucky dog. I think it's the 4th time. The run. Keeps kicking out of being pinned. Will not tap out. But we are definitely going to have a 2 or 3 lap restart here.
Sure, ratchet up the level of intensity just a little bit more.
Yeah. We have not hit ludicrous speed yet.
Yeah, I can't say it enough though. How disappointing is this for Bob Bryant?
Yeah.
I mean, it's hanging right there in front of him, and now he's got Cohan, who is pretty good on restarts, and Ryan to deal with there. That's gonna be fun.
Now, remember last week, Bob Bryant was up in the front, and it came down to a late race restart, and he got knocked into the grass at Sonoma, and it cost him a win. Could tonight have another restart cost him a win? Because you got 2 cars here that are definitely viable to winning a race. And how about Jonathan Goodell back there in the 11? He has just snuck his way into the top 5.
Yeah, you can almost say, where did he come from? We've talked about him. We've seen him battling out there, but now all of a sudden he inserts himself into this race for the checkers here, and looks like we're going to get a 2-lap shootout, Chris.
Green, white, checkered. We'll take it. Hope iRacing's watching. # we want it. So we're going to have Bob Bryant, Nick Cohan, Tommy Ryan, Tyler Dalton, Jonathan Goodell, Michael Krobach, Drew Carroll, Gerald Livingston, Paul Pepper, Woodrow Mahan, your top 10. And appreciate the 98 viewers that we've had watching us here tonight. Appreciate it. Watching us from both iRacing Live and over on the Global Sim Racing Channel YouTube page. Great job, guys. Try to double it next week. Let's go 176. Why not? That's quick math. That's actually 186, but who's counting?
All right, here we go, Chris. Time to ratchet it up, baby.
Can they get back to the white flag? It's a green flag, and if a caution comes out, it's over. Let's see. Bryant's on it. Cohan, not a good restart. Looking. Drew Carroll dropped to the bottom. They're almost 3 wide down to 1.
Oh, jeez.
They're 4 wide off 2, and they're wrecking in the back. No caution so far. We stay green. Oh, Red McBride.
Oh, Cadell in the wall. Cadell in the wall. Crowbach. It's him.
Is, oh, no.
Wow. That was rough.
Oh, I feel terrible for Michael Crowbach. But white flag has come out with the caution. Bob Bryant is going to victory lane for the second time in his career.
Wow.
And here comes Bob Bryant off of turn number 4. Unfortunately, 12 cautions tonight. Still was a pretty fun race when it's all over. It's some long green flag runs. But the Snoop Dawgy Don 250 going to go to Bob Bryant for his second career win in only 4 races. Nick Cohan going to go second. Tyler Dalton comes back from being a lucky dog up to third. Drew Carroll and Tommy Ryan going to finish 5th this evening. But we'll step away. We'll talk to the top 3 finishers. We'll recap the race and all as you're watching the Global Sim Racing channel. The Bald and the Beard with you back here at the Phoenix International Raceway. Race number 4 in the books for the Patriot Fire Cup Series. And Bob Bryant back in victory lane for a second time in 4 starts this season. The rookie dominating this race when it's all over with, leading 117 out of the 156 laps. He gets win number 2 alongside him. Nick Cohan finishing 2nd. Tyler Dalton, Drew Carroll, and Tommy Ryan finishing 5th.
All right, and in 6th place, that's going to be Paul Pepper with a great run this evening. Jonathan Caddell, 7th. 8th, going to go to Rhett McBride, up 17 spots to get to 8th this evening. Ricky Harden, 9th, and James Krahula is got to be really happy with a top 10 finish tonight.
Yeah, let's call him the lucky charm, I think, the rest of the season. But Norman Peltier, the 3rd, finishing 11th. Randy Oakham, 12th. Tim Johnston, 13th. Rich Jetty, a tough finish, 14th. But Krobach, you say 15th is a tough finish, but that's actually his best finish of the season. But you know he's not going to be happy with 15th.
Yeah, and it was trouble late that cost him there. Calvin Filarski, 16th. Rick Thompson, 17th. Really just kind of stuck in the middle all night there was Rick. Don Ruckle Jr. is showing 18th out. We understand there may have been a scoring problem there at the end. So these results this evening, folks, are unofficial. Gerald Livingston going to finish 19th. Justin Roden is 20th.
21st going to go to Woodrow Mahan. Scott Eckridge, 22nd, unfortunately. Involved in some situations there late in that race that led some laps, and unfortunately 22nd. Matt Murphy, 23rd. John Wilco, Brian Yazik, not going to be happy with 25th.
Yeah, Yazik goes from 8th to 25th there due to a late race incident. Travis McQuiston, 26th. RJ Williams, 27th. 28th, Dan Murray. Reed Rundell, 29th. Mark Allen, 30th.
31st, going to go to the number 9 of Adam Littell, hashtag. Not good finish. Thomas George finishing 32nd. Steve Ritter, 33rd. 34th, Brian Mellendorf. 35th, Jeff Ward. And 36th, Gregory McDougall finishing last. Unfortunately, DJ Beverly never saw the start of this race in the 01 car. But pretty interesting race. Unfortunately, tonight did break the record for the Premier Racing League Cup Series in cautions. It beat the Richmond record from last year with 12 tonight. But it was actually, for the most part, I thought it was pretty exciting when you take out the cautions. There was some good green flag racing throughout the night. But only one guy can win. Let's go to victory lane and talk to him. Bob Bryant in the number 53, 2nd win of the season. It definitely shows why his I rating is triple mine when he gets his 2nd win. Nice job, Bob.
Hey, appreciate it. That was a fun race there for a while. Wish we could have got a little bit more green there at the end, but that's kind of how it goes. I think everybody's just trying to dig for what they could get there at the end, and we played the strategy right and came out on top.
Now, you and Scott Eckridge had a pretty fun race there midpoint for, about 30 laps. You guys were nose to tail. He was trying to get underneath you. You were getting that high line working. How fun was that?
I mean, personally, I thought it was a blast. I think Scott was kind of upset with me, and I've been scratching my head trying to figure out why. But I don't know. I mean, I had a good time racing. That was a long green run. We got through pit stops there, and Scott's a really good driver and really fast, and I had a lot of fun racing with him there. So hopefully we can do that more throughout the rest of the season.
Well, you become the first driver to have multiple wins this year. We had 3 winners so far this season. You get the 2nd win, which helps you when it comes to those bonus points later on in the season.
Yep, I'm very happy about that. We didn't have the fastest car today, and there's a couple times during the race that there was it was a kind of a 50-50 decision whether we should pit or stay out, and we stayed out both times, and Eckridge came in both times, and he kind of got stuck back in the pack there a little bit and had to come through, and I think ultimately that kind of hurt him. I think he got into somebody there towards the end. So yeah, we're very happy that we played the strategy right, got lucky again on that, and we'll take it.
Well, Bob, go ahead and send shout-outs to whoever you like, buddy.
Appreciate you guys doing the broadcast every week. I watch it, and I used to run the Sim Racing Network about 10 years ago with a couple other broadcasters, and you guys are so far and away above what we used to do. It's amazing. I can't even imagine what it takes to put something like this together. So shout out to you guys.
I appreciate the kind words there, Bob. But nice job on your 2nd win of the season, and we'll see you next week in California.
Appreciate it.
Let's go down to Sean. He's got second place, Nick Cohan.
Yeah, Nick, what a run tonight. Pretty wild race, but a great result for you. Congratulations, sir.
Thanks, John. It was a lot of fun out there. Track actually changed throughout the race, which was cool. And the beginning it was kind of just single lane and wasn't really much passing going on. Towards the end there, it seemed to get a little more racy and a lot more fun. Just wish it would have stayed green in there at the end. That would have been a lot of fun battling Bob there.
Nick, you talked about the track. The temperature pretty high to start the race. I think it was at 102 degrees when we got started. When you say the track changed, was the rubber, did it widen the line, maybe open up the top side a little bit?
Yeah, that's what it did. It was kind of hard. It was really hard to pass in the beginning. I mean, you probably saw we were single file for a while, and then towards the end of the race there, you could kind of see the rubber build up. You can almost see it on the broadcast right now. The outside lane seemed to work pretty good. When you had a car on the inside, they couldn't really come off the corner as good as you anymore. So it made passing a lot more fun and a lot of good battles out there. And I think it put on a good show for you guys.
Oh, indeed it was. And you know what? We talked also during the broadcast about all the different tracks that you've been to so far and how each one of them has been a totally different style. Now, next week, we open things back up again and we head over to California. What do you think about, again, all the change we've had here early on in the season?
I like it. I really like the schedule. Don't like the road courses, but I do like all the mixture. We're not running just following Cup Series because that just gets boring to me. And to be running little different schedules is pretty cool. And I think it keeps it exciting. And looking forward to California. It's one of my favorite tracks, especially because it's wide open and you have a little flexibility of lane choices, and restarts are always really fun, which is one of my favorite parts. And hopefully we can just keep this good streak going here. Last year was disappointing. This year I practiced a lot, and it seems to be really paying off.
Nick, who keeps that number 21 Toyota running, buddy?
Steel Horse Racing, number one. All my teammates, great teamwork today. I know a lot of guys had some misfortunes, but a lot of teamwork throughout the week. And Toyota, CJ Automotive, K&N. That's pretty much about it.
All right, buddy. Hey, listen, travel safe out there to California. We'll see you next week.
I'm already testing.
All right, gotcha. All right, and so that was Nick Cohan, driver, the number 21, our second place finisher tonight. I do believe Mr. Tyler Dalton, Chris has wrangled him up.
Yeah, Tyler Dalton with a pretty good third place run for him in the 09 car. Started up front, fell to the back, got the lucky dog back to the front, and you pretty much did the whole yo-yo trick tonight.
Yeah, I gotta say, man, that third place finish is like a victory. I didn't have third place speed, but things just sort of fell the right way there. It was a tough break. When we pitted, I wasn't really planning on pitting that lap. I was sort of thinking about it and got running through from behind, so sort of forced my hand there. Then I was passing the leader as a caution came out, so that didn't really go my way, but third place finish, I can't say enough about that.
We'll talk about the fun racing out there. I mean, we heard Nick Cohen talk about the high groove coming into play there, especially at 3 and 4. Just looked like a very slick track. It made it very fun to be a part of.
It was definitely slick. You had to be really careful getting in the corner, really careful getting off the corner.
Well, Tyler, you did a fantastic job tonight, and hope that momentum will carry for you there in the 09, and you can send shout-outs to whoever you want to, buddy.
Yeah, I would like to thank my sponsor, California Midwest Express Trucking. First time actually having a real sponsor. I thank Todd Kirkwood for that. I enjoy running their logos on the car, and I got to thank my teammates at Unacceptable Racing. Having them to talk strategy with really helped there at the end.
Well, great job tonight, Tyler. Congratulations on your fourth place run, and we wish you the best. We'll see you next week in Auto Club.
Thank you.
Tyler Dalton, third place run for him. A career best finish, I believe, there for the 09. And what do you say, Sean? You think we could sneak in Drew Carroll? I see maybe you caught him?
Yeah, let's talk to Drew real quick. Let's see if he's available for us here. Drew, you got me, buddy?
Yeah, I got you,
Drew.
man.
Yeah, there he is. Drew Carroll, driver, the number 87. The New England driver finishes fourth tonight. Drew, you ran up near the front all evening, but you found yourself kind of in the fight there a couple of times. Tell us a little bit about this race tonight.
It had just about everything. We had speed to be a race-winning car. We were sideways more than I wanted to be. We got into one guy, and I still don't know who I hit, but whoever I did, I completely apologize. I was having technical issues there. And then that last restart, I just saw a hole and just got my foot in it. We were able to get fourth. I'm so proud of this effort right now.
Yeah, early, it's so critical early on in the season to try and build some consistency and, rip off some good consecutive runs. Are you happy with where the program's at right now?
No, we got work to do. There's always work to do. We've definitely got off to a slow start. Last year we already had about 3 top 5s in the bag, and we just got our first top 5 in, the fourth race of the season. So a little bit slower than I would have liked, but the speed's been there. A lot of our finishes don't dictate where we, where we were running the entire day. So, there's always work to be done. Motorsports is great, but if you stay in the one position, you're going to go backwards. So we're going to keep fighting, keep digging, and hopefully crank out some more top 5s to get some wins under our belt here in the coming weeks.
Well, and speaking of the coming weeks, next week we're in California, and lots of work and testing to do before we go there.
Oh, for sure. We got a lot we got to work on. Especially that's going to be the first, type of track we're going to, because there's only really 2 tracks like that. Auto Club California and Michigan. So it's going to be the first one on the schedule. So if you want to be good at Michigan, you're going to want to be good out of the gate here. So definitely going to have to go there and test some and see where we're at. And hopefully we'll be able to lay down some good laps and already have some speed rolling off the truck.
All right. Well, hey, we wish you the best. Safe travel there out to California. We will see you next week, Drew.
All right. I just want to say thank you for Clippy That Apex for coming on board. Thing Loud Pedal Motorsports. This is a great job for everybody. Got 3 cars in the top 10. So I'm really happy about all of that. And hopefully we keep this momentum going.
All right. Sounds good. And our best to you, my friend. That was Drew Carroll, driver, the number 87 Ford. And really good night for Drew and for that team. And Chris, we want to remind our viewers, the ones that are left, don't forget the Lionheart Retro Series is going on right now on the Global Sim Racing channel. As soon as we're done here, we're going to get over and check out that broadcast, folks.
Yeah, I believe Sam Ryman's, in that race, one of our own. So, going to run in the Poconos, I believe, is where those cars are.
Yeah, they're at Pocono right now. Yeah. Yep.
And they cleared the snow off pretty quickly, believe it or not. Anyways, final thoughts from the race tonight, Sean?
You know what? My final thoughts are, it's a shame that we saw those last few cautions there that came out. But overall, I think we got a wonderful race. I really, really do. I mean, I really enjoyed that. Of all the races I saw this week, this was probably one of my favorite. But again, this track, this type of track, very little banking, 1 mile, pretty tight confines in the turns, a second groove. These cautions are going to happen. I'm sorry, it's just going to happen every time you put that many cars on the track. I wouldn't be surprised if the actual Cup race this weekend gets themselves 10, 11 cautions. So there you go.
Definitely could. So, Sean, appreciate it as always. Appreciate the listeners, and also special thanks to the Premier Racing League for putting on the Patriot Fire Cup Series. Also, thanks to the software and hardware that we use for our broadcast, that you can see listed on your screen right about now.
And also thanks to our musical contributors Eric Ekholm and Casey Lalonde, whose music you can find at the websites listed. For more information about future races, you can see the list here on the screen, or you can go check out our calendar at globalsimracing.com, where you can check out our past broadcasts as well. We've got a nice archive section there, as well as taking a look at what we've got coming up here in the near future.
We also are on Twitter at GSR Channel, also Facebook.com/Global Sim Racing Channel. Now, the next time we will be on the air with the Premier Racing League Patriot Fire Cup Series next Thursday night, round 5. from SoCal Auto Club Speedway. We will be there for that one as we continue this West Coast swing. We're halfway through it. We got Auto Club next Thursday night, and then the following Thursday we're in Vegas. So getting through that West Coast swing as we hope to see you at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for both races. Congrats to our winner again, Bob Bryan, his second win of the season. For Dougie Beard, I'm Jed Yamin. I'll go ahead and throw it out there too to Brutus the dog, with appearance from him tonight, and Sean Ambrose. I'm Chris Scala. Race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.